Hello, second try. Tonight we are doing a live stream with Lukas Hasler again, and I hope that we finally can get him into the chat, because last time it didn't work. Where is he? Lukas?
Hey, yes, it
worked. There he is. Finally, it worked. Somehow we had a few technical difficulties.
It's been a while. Yeah, thank you so much.
How are you doing? It's been a while.
You?
I'm doing wonderful. I was a bit sick, unfortunately, a few days ago, but finally I'm feeling great again. And,
I've been to Kazakhstan,
but you've been traveling a lot.
So a lot has been going on, but we finally made it and made it in the end. Because originally, I think we could tell the audience we wanted to do a live stream from Australia and Germany. But that wasn't really possible due to my bad internet connection there. So therefore, here we go again after 1 week. Yes, that's true. That's wonderful.
But we made it finally.
Well, it was not that stressful as usually, because I just had to conduct one orchestral mass, even though it was the Missa in Timpani, Paukenmesse, as we call it in German, by Joseph Haydn. But this was my only real work day, like Easter Sunday, and the rest was time to relax and to get used to my jet lag, which wasn't that bad. But yeah, of course, after 27 hours of traveling, it was a bit, it was just time to relax and time to get back to our European time. And how was your Easter?
Pretty chilled, actually. I was practicing a lot because I have a few projects coming up really soon. And other than that, I was just spending time with family and stuff. And yeah, it's a great time.
Well, actually,
but I see that you have a new haircut.
Actually, these are my real hair.
Since the last time we talked.
I'm going back to, well, not back to future, but back to the ordinary way. So therefore I thought, well, because of my upcoming tours, I might not always have the best facilities there. So I thought just go back to what your natural haircut is. And here we go. So well,
perfect. Perfect. Yeah, but tell us a bit about Australia. How much is the time difference?
Well, I experienced
European time.
3 time zones.
Like
so
12 hours.
First was about, I don't know, 8 hours, I think, then 9 hours, and then 10 hours, because I started my tour in Perth, which is on the western part of Australia.
Okay.
And then I played, I had a master class there, and then I played the concert there. And then I went to Sydney. I flew there. Originally, I thought Australia is much smaller than it really is. It's about the size of the United States. It's almost like 6 hours of flying time altogether, which is really a long, and you cross some timelines as well. Yeah. So then I played 3 concerts in Sydney, and then my last stop had been Brisbane, where I played my last concert at the City Hall there, which was an amazing experience, of course. Good hall, good acoustics, big organ there. So it was really amazing. Even though, I had the chance to play at the Opera House.
That's wonderful.
Even though the organ had been damaged by water, I think some months ago, it was really an amazing experience because the organ is 6 stories high. So it's a real monster there. And so it was really unforgettable, unbelievable to have the opportunity to play at this iconic building. It's Sydney Opera House. It's all we know about Sydney is the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge, honestly. So that was a great experience. And also, I first met my first kangaroo in life. Probably I've seen a kangaroo in the zoo, I'm not sure, but it was real my first time being in the natural habitat of a kangaroo, which was also a great experience.
Yeah. Did you have time to?
I did.
I can imagine. Did you have time to do a bit of sightseeing as well, or?
No,
I mean,
for sure not.
the kangaroo
Well,
didn't come up in the church,
the good
I
thing,
guess.
probably you've experienced this too. The good thing about touring is that you, on the one hand side, get, of course, to know all the main sightseeing dots and points of cities, but also some special sites like Rottnest Island, for example, which is next to Perth, which is an island which you probably wouldn't visit as an ordinary tourist. But since you get to know many people from there, like locals, and you have so many experiences and probably advantages, in order to see new sightseeing tours, in order to experience their traditional food, probably. So these are really advantages I would not like to miss, and therefore I'm really happy. So to answer your question, I really had the honor to see so many different things. I've been there for 16 days, altogether. And it was very stressful though, but I loved it, and I hope to return back soon. Yeah.
I can imagine. I would love to go to Australia
it's
once.
It's a complete different
that's
world.
an actual dream of mine.
I honestly have to say that
I
thought it would be much more Americanized, Also the speaking, the culture. I always thought I do know that, of course, they'd been a colony of the Britain, like back in the centuries, but I thought it's more Americanized than it would behave like Britain or more British. But it's really, for me, I'm sorry, for me, I really felt like being in Great Britain again, which was a very nice experience though, and the people are just lovely. And as you see, I'm just a fan now, real fanboy of Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I'm happy to hear that. No, I'd actually love to visit that country once. The last tour I played far abroad, not that far away, Indonesia, so it was a while ago, and I hope to. Yeah, I know. But it was time-wise. It was a long time ago. It was in 2019, I think, just before COVID hit. And I really hope to figure something out for next year, because this year, like this schedule here is crazy full. I have so many plans coming up. Yeah. But hopefully maybe that's the US next year.
Honestly,
we'll see.
As you mentioned, there's some time difference between Europe and Australia. And I saw that you've done a huge campaign for your new CD project. I just spotted you and stalked you online on Instagram, always a bit late because of the time difference. But congratulations on this.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, finally, it's the next step with my CD. For those who don't know, I'm in the process of recording my very first solo album right now. I did one with my violinist duo partner from Munich a while ago, and now my first solo album is coming out soon on June 17th, so not that far ahead, which I'm really happy about. And I finally got my recordings, like the cut version of what we did, and I'm actually really happy
Tell
about
the truth now.
Okay, we're all friends here. We're all friends here. That's why I'm gonna tell the truth. So the first cutted version, I didn't like so much actually, because some parts of the piece were a bit too like convenient and not risky enough, because I don't know, I like to take risks when I'm doing a concert, when I'm playing a concert, and I think that's what makes music more interesting, besides playing like in university, like square and everything is correct and stuff. And it was kind of like that. So it was not bad, but it was very academic, let's say it like that. And then I was talking a bit with the Tonmeister, the sound engineer, and he found some other versions of these passages that I was not so happy about. And actually, to tell the complete truth, I'm very, very happy with the second cutted version.
Well, can you let me know, like, because you were talking about the second or first cutted version, like, have you been to the studio with the sound engineer and cutting it together, or did he do the job for you? Like, not for you, but did he do the job and you're just telling him, well, I'm not happy with this or that?
Yeah. Like the second way, like we were calling a bit, and I was telling him my feedback about the first cutted version, and like there were a few wrong notes still there when passages were like quite fast and difficult to actually listen if you don't know the piece properly. These mistakes happen, that are completely normal. And then when it's coming a bit more difficult, it's like about taste. I mean, we're two different people, the sound engineer and me. He might have a different taste in some passages that I have. But luckily, we were talking a bit, and he said that he's pretty sure he has some like nicer versions that fit a bit more for my taste, I guess. And then he just sent me the second version, and I said, yeah, perfect. Let's take it like that.
Yeah.
And
can
then
you
it was
tell me
all
something
done.
about the pieces?
Recording.
What have you recorded?
Recording with, yeah. Yeah, actually a very interesting collection of fantasies. So everything is fantasy related, like either the fantasies are sonatas, but their name are fantasies, or the other way around. So their name is sonata, but in reality it's a fantasy. And then the reach is from worldwide known pieces like the Moonlight Sonata, Sonata Quasi una Fantasia by Beethoven, to a sketch from a sketchbook by Beethoven of a Sonata Quasi una Fantasia, where there's no recording on a Steinway so far. At least what I found out. There's a recording with a fortepiano, but not on a Steinway. So these are these two pieces, and then the Schubert Wanderer Fantasy, huge piece. It's called fantasy, but in reality, it's more a sonata than a fantasy, I would say. And then from Mendelssohn, the Fantasy Opus 28, which is the Scottish sonata. So you see there's a correlation between sonata and fantasy all over. And yeah, that's the repertoire. The title is Gloaming, very interesting title, actually, because it's Scottish. It's a Scottish word for like Dämmerung, you say in German. The English word would be glooming, not gloaming. So that's the difference. And because everything is like kind of the night-related, like spooky atmosphere. That's why I chose this title, and yeah, I'm very much looking forward. And what you saw is the crowdfunding campaign. Since like this is a huge project, unfortunately, producing this CD is pretty much expensive. I mean, you know that, depending on the contract you get. And yeah, so it costs like more than 10,000 euros to produce something like that. And I recently launched a crowdfunding campaign to help me finance that, which you can find in my bio on my profile if you want on Start Next.
Great.
And I would be
and how do you do
really
there?
thankful.
Are you confident with the development of your crowdfunding campaign? I mean, you have to say you're confident with it, but what's the truth?
No, it's getting there. I mean, it's still going until my birthday, 2nd of June. So we have a few days left, like 50 days or whatever. Yeah, I mean, every dollar would help. I think people might be a bit
crazy
scared
amounts
of
of
seeing
money.
like crazy
Mm.
as prices of like CDs or concerts, whatever. But in reality, like €1 would also help a lot if everyone would donate. So yeah, don't be scared of
Wonderful.
anything.
Cool.
And
so
yeah, let's see how it
you
goes.
wanted to publish it in the middle of June, right? 21st? Oh, 17th. Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a 17th, 17th of June. Right. So there's a
On
single
Spotify,
coming out in May,
iTunes,
I
and so
believe,
on. Okay.
19th of May.
Mm-hmm.
With right on everything exactly, and then the CD as a like printed, pressed version, however you would call it, and also on Spotify and stuff. It's coming out on June 17th, and around that I'm planning a lot of release events even before this release, the official release, where you can already buy a
So
CD.
you're doing a
So
tour
kind
or
of a
something
special
like this, like a release
event
tour?
with press and right. So I'm playing, for example, in Bayreuth. I'm playing in Hamburg,
At the
Vienna,
Steinway store.
obviously in Stuttgart. So
okay.
yeah. Not only
I
in
really
Steinway
hope to
stores,
see you in
but
person
some
in
of them
Vienna.
are
Do you
in
know the date
cooperation with
already?
Steinway, thankfully.
First time.
So
Yes.
I know the date already. I believe it's the 27th of May, but I was about to tell you actually that I'm going there with the car, so I might go to Graz. We'll see. But
me too.
Please come to my concert. I would also be happy about that.
I won't promise anything because my calendar is in my phone, which I have to use now. But yeah, let's talk about it. But thank you very much. It's 27th, right? Of May. Mm-hmm.
Same.
For
sure.
Good.
I believe it's like around 26th or 27th, either of that. But as I said, I will steal the car of my dad and then I will drive off to Vienna. So I have the possibility to actually go to Graz as well.
That's a good choice.
I actually might.
And by the way,
definitely.
I might come to
Stuttgart.
Hope
to see you there
in the beginning of May. I think second week of May, because I'm going to play a concert in the Black Forest on the 12th of May, I think. So probably I will also come to Stuttgart. So perhaps you're there as well. I
mean, like, for sure. I mean, we're talking about Instagram Live all the time now, and then we see us in 1 month,
hopefully it's
probably 2 or 3 times. Looking forward to it. Yeah. No, but let's text about that because that's the same problem. I have my calendar on my phone.
So probably
I'm gonna be in Bayreuth on May 10th and 11th. That I know.
That's a good thing. Yeah, and then I'm sure we will go live.
We'll figure it
probably with only one phone, but we will go live for sure. Or we could also do a live video and from the same city, probably same spot, but with 2 phones. Would be also a cool idea. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll figure things out. I mean, if you have the time here, depending on your schedule, we could also plan to play something together if you wanted. At some point. I mean, we were talking about that for Austria.
People about it, so probably some things. Ready to come. We'll see. Okay, and then I can also. My next plan.
Definitely.
Well,
for sure.
First of all, I have
what are your next plans
regarding your CD, and then I can not only buy your CD in ordinary CD stores, so on, but also can listen to it online, like Apple Music and so on. So it'll be available everywhere. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
June 17th.
I'm sure
finally
you will let
sign that in your calendar
here on Instagram.
For sure.
My next plans.
For sure.
I'm going to Ukraine again on Sunday. So it'll be already on Sunday. Wow. I'm going this time.
Already on Sunday.
I'll be going to Kiev which is the first time in my life. I mean, I've been to the city some years ago, but now it's the first time, because last time, 1 year ago, I was in Lviv, Lemberg in German, which is on the borderline between Poland and the Ukraine, which is like really in the western part of the Ukraine. And now I'm going to go to Kiev, where I'm going to play on the last and only playable and functional organ there in the entire Kiev area. Because in the first days of the war, some of the biggest organs had been destroyed by rockets, and well, they reestablished something there, and so I'm really honored and glad and happy to be able to get there and yeah, to finally play there. So I'm really excited, and it of course causes a lot of well, a lot of inconveniences, let's say it that way, because it's still not possible to travel on planes, by planes. So I have to take the train, which means the train to Lviv, to Lemberg. It's almost 20 hours, and then one night there, and then going to Kiev, which means altogether also travel time almost like going to Australia, but therefore on bus and by train, and sadly not by plane, which would make it, of course, much more convenient. But this is what I'm going to do next. So I think it's Friday the 21st of April when I'll be playing there. And it'll be 1 week.
And how long are you going to be there?
More or less Sunday to Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I will be only in Kiev.
But only in Kiev, or will
and
you
also
travel?
have the opportunity to visit the city, because I'm really curious. I mean, it's a beautiful city. It's a huge city, though. Some years ago, I did not have the chance to really visit the city properly. It was more or less a longer layover. So this time I'm really looking forward to, also get to know this kind of atmosphere now in the city, because as I was told, it's going, of course, back to normal, because life has to go on. And this was also the experience I made last year in Lviv, that people tend to, of course, come or get back their normal lives in a quite fast way, because I mean, of course, we all have to live a normal kind of normal life. Normal is always under quotation marks. And so I'm really curious and looking forward to this special atmosphere there, and to talk to people there and have the opportunity to see the whole situation. And of course, I probably will do some live videos there as well. And I will try to get there and well, to also get in touch with the people there.
Yeah, I'm curious what you're going to tell us. I mean, first of all, stay safe. Even though I know I have some friends living in Kiev or around Kiev, they apparently say that it's kind of safe. I don't know what to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wish you all the best. Stay safe, but also enjoy. I mean, that's a crazy opportunity to play in a special
I cannot tell you anything about it, because I haven't experienced it so far. The thing is, I try to take you with me with my social media channels, and try to get as many impressions as possible. And of course, it's a unique experience, though, to have the opportunity to play there, and to play for the people there, because as I always said, they have to live with it. I have the comfortable situation that I can go to this country, but then I can also leave this country. And for you as well as for me in our ages, if we would be Ukrainian citizen, we wouldn't have the opportunity to travel. So we would have to fight there. So therefore, I think I'm in a quite convenient situation and position to go there on the one hand side, but then also leave the country again. But honestly, I'm really looking forward to these impressions and once again to bring joy to the people. And yeah, music is always the greatest gift you can give people. And yeah, looking forward to present my pieces. And I will also play the Moonlight Sonata. So which is a cool. Well, I made a transcription.
Oh wow! I didn't know there's a transcription for organ.
I'm really looking forward to perform this as well.
Wow! Cool.
And some other fun pieces as well. Yeah, I'm also always trying to play something from the piano repertoire as well.
Great. Great. No, I'm curious about this transcription actually, because I love the Moonlight Sonata. Obviously, I just recorded it.
I'm really looking forward to it, and the instrument should be really fine. So yeah, we'll see. I will let you know. For sure. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm in the middle of it.
Make a transcription about the whole
every
sonata,
single movement, but I'm now in the middle of in the process. Yeah, but I'm also going to play my transcription which I've already transcribed 1 year ago by not Mendelssohn, sorry, by Mozart, the G major key 283 in G major, plus the second part, which is the second piano written by Edvard Grieg. So I put them together and did a transcription out of it. So yeah, I like transcriptions very much, and it really opens and gives you new perspectives. Yeah, on the organ, and some pieces are playable, of course, for the organ, and some are not, and yeah, it always depends on the instrument. Yeah, that's true. Well,
sure,
you told us before that you're going to travel around, well, not only Germany but also Austria, in order to present your new CD. So, what is your plan now?
Right.
What are your plans? Hamburg.
So actually, yeah, the first travel I do, and that's also my next concert, is Hamburg on 24th,
where are you going to play?
I think, of April. Exactly? And then I will play, as we're talking about, Steinway at the Steinway factory. That's going to be a really amazing experience again, because they're presenting a new limited edition piano,
you are going to play,
that I'm very curious about myself, because right, in the concert there, and like that's not related with the CD, that's just a concert, different kind of concert, but I'm very happy about that, because last time I was there I got the chance to visit the factory actually in Hamburg, because for those who don't know, Steinway has two big factories. One is in New York, and one is in Hamburg, but Hamburg is the bigger one. And it was so incredible to see, like could already say birth of a piano that you that you see day by day, and that was actually a crazy experience. And how carefully they picked their wood, and the craftsmanship behind that, especially with like these limited editions. I mean, definitely, it's like about taste. I don't like every piano of them as well, like optically, with like the crazy kind of wood and stuff. But like the art behind this craftsmanship is just incredible, because you have like these small pieces of wood that have to fit around a 2.11 B grand piano, for example. And like just to make that work is so incredible. And yeah, I'm curious about what kind of piano I'm gonna play there, because I don't know myself just yet. But yeah, since we're talking about transcriptions, like 2 days later, I will play piano concerto again, and a transcription by the Wanderer Fantasy by Schubert. Liszt wrote a transcription for orchestra and piano, which is actually really difficult to play. I just figured out because I started it 2 days ago. Um, I didn't have time because I had to jump in for a recording for a radio broadcast station, the Bayerische Rundfunk, and I had to jump in for a recording for the pieces that I had to learn for that as well. And I have like one week of time, so everything is kind of packed right now. But yeah, the transcription is amazing. It's really, really, really great for orchestra.
So you're
piano,
going to perform with orchestra,
and yeah, that's my next project. And then
and with which orchestra and where?
Right. It's in Schwäbisch Gmünd. That's pretty close to no, actually not that close, like 1 hour from Stuttgart maybe, almost. And that's gonna be on April 29th, I think, which I'm very much looking forward. And then from May onwards, I will probably most likely only have like CD related concerts in Bayreuth, then close to Bayreuth in Roth. Then I will fly to Hamburg as well again for a really cool concert there as well. Then Vienna and Stuttgart is going to be in June. So it's getting crowded until July, and then I have a bit of a break. I will play a trio concerto,
the triple
concert with trio in July in Bonn, which I'm very much looking forward to. No, not yeah, unfortunately not, but a regular trio, so Opus 1 number 3 to be precise. And yeah, that's gonna be amazing with the Beethoven trio actually. So that's gonna be really cool. And then I will also have my exam, my second last exam in my university here. Thank you. So I will take a few days off after July when everything is done, because until then it's like week by week.
Yeah, what I'm really curious about is how long or how much time do you have in order to prepare a concert, let's say in Hamburg, for example? I mean, do you have 1 or 2 days in order to get used to this new Steinway grand piano which you are going to play there, or is it really just going there a couple of hours ahead of time and then just play?
Right. So it's always like that. You fly in the same day you play the concert, if the schedule works. So I'm gonna fly in on 24th. On the same day. I will have some appointments where I cannot practice but talk to like Steinway related stuff, and then in the evening I will have like 1 or 2 hours to rehearse in the piano. Excuse me. Then there's the concert, and then on 25th
so it's really like
appointments, and then
like 48 hours
to Stuttgart. So it's
that's
quick and dirty.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
Right. Not even. And that's pretty much the same with every
it's easier for you.
Us pianists are doing. I mean, it's obviously for sure, but obviously it's a different instrument. It's a different acoustics always, but it's not that different than looking for one organ to the other organ, because I think
the thing is that you have to decide which sound colors and more individual you're using, and sometimes you have like 3 manuals, sometimes only 1, and therefore I think you have to have more preparation time.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, like most of the time it's, as you say, quick and dirty, in and out. Yeah, that's like our daily business. Which is actually unfortunate, because most of the cities that I travel to, I will not see. Like I will have the first time since a few years, I will have the first time like a few hours in Hamburg to see actually the city on 25th before I fly back. but in every other trip except of the time when I'm gonna be in Vienna the second time in end of May. There I will do kind of a holiday trip there as well for like 2-3 days. But other than that, I will never see the city. For example, I'm coming to Vienna on May 1st and May 2nd. I will drive there and arrive there maybe in the evening. I will record something on the morning of May 2nd, and I will just jump in the train or the car and go back home.
I've studied in Hamburg for almost 4 years, I think, 4 or 5 years. And it was always between October and May, more or less. And first of all, I always, flew into Hamburg, then directly to the like to the tram line, directly to Hamburg-Altona, where the university is, then the whole day and back to Austria, first of all. So I did not see anything. And people were like, well, you're studying there since, I don't know, 3 years. So how is Hamburg? Can you suggest something or something? Yeah. And I was like, I have no clue at all. And the other thing is, the worst
the airport is great.
In the northern part of Germany, these are October, November, December, January, February, March, April, and probably May. So all these 8 months in which I had been to Hamburg. Yeah. I've never been to Hamburg during summertime, which is a pity because it was always gray, dark, and so it's it's a pity, but I can fully understand you. And this was also something
maybe the next
I really wanted to do when being in Australia. I thought it's a one in a lifetime chance because I don't know when I'm going to come back there. Well, probably something's in the planning at the moment, but never mind. So therefore, I was really glad to had the opportunity to visit some spots. Yeah.
Right. But I think actually, as weird as it sounds, but I think the further you travel, the more time you have. At least that's what I experienced, because every time I traveled abroad, like far abroad, I always had like a few days where I didn't play a concert, or like in Indonesia, I did some master classes as well, where I didn't have to teach. Same in the US back then. And I saw quite a bit of the cities, but as soon as you travel through Germany or like the country you live close by, you tend to not take the time, actually, as weird as it is. For example, Hamburg, coming back to the beautiful city of Hamburg, it's actually a really beautiful city. I mean, I was before in Hamburg a few times, and I know the city quite well. But yeah, I think you just don't take the time.
That's really true. And it always, what I also have to mention, it always depends on the people there. So if you have great hosts, like I always have, it's also, a good possibility for them to once again show you the city in which they live. And on the other side, as I mentioned before, it's always good to see some other spots, probably not the most touristic spots, but also some important, very beautiful, however, spots you would not see as an ordinary tourist. So this is also something I really like about our job of touring and being abroad. Yeah, it's really true. And by the way, because I see people joining us here, if you have any questions, please write them in the comments. We are happy to answer them, or even to talk about different topics as well. So we're wild and crazy today.
Somebody was already texting that he or she, I can't remember, loves your Moonlight Sonata transcription, so you might have a fan. It was a while ago, but since you suggested, ask us questions. So you're going to Ukraine next. What is the biggest highlight that you're gonna do this year? I mean, you're always doing highlights, Australia and Ukraine are highlights, but can you give us a sneak peek
honestly,
about like the second half
it's a
of the year?
bit well, how shall I say? I cannot tell you too much about it at the moment because everything's in progress at the moment. And some things coming out for sure, something bigger, but I can't really talk about it at the moment. I can talk about my next projects, which are in Austria, for example, because I'm going to play a climate neutral organ concert. What is a climate neutral organ concert? I'm going to play in not a small church, but in a church with a lovely organ. And you might know back in those days when Johann Sebastian Bach, for example, or Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart lived, they had no electricity. So they had to blow wind into the organ by hand or by feet. And this is exactly what I wanted to do there. So without electricity, I'm going to play there a whole concert program. And some wonderful guys have the opportunity to bump air into the organ, hopefully in a good metronome, because otherwise it's like, it's waving. And so we're going back in time and trying to have this kind of historical atmosphere of a organ which is not fed by electricity but by hand pumped air, which is something I've never done before, and I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be on May 5th in St. Pölten, which is the capital of Niederösterreich, Lower Austria, not Upper Austria, Lower Austria, so right next to Vienna. And you find everything online on my website. But I'm really looking forward to this unique experience because, first of all, I'm looking forward to our rehearsals. It'll be fun.
Yeah. But be happy that you're the organist, not the guy pumping air in the organ.
But honestly, I've experienced it already because I can remember back in those years, like probably 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I played the funeral, and during the Sanctus, which I've played with the organ plus people there, the parishioners, we had a loss of electricity. And in this moment, I had a very, very nice choir member of my choir, and he really thought immediately about this option of pumping air manually in the organ. And so he did, and nobody really could get the difference between electricity and the human work. So therefore, I was really thankful, and this was my first and only experience of doing it manually.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. But it's actually cool project. Are you playing a lot of historical
since it's
pieces,
a small organ,
purposely mixed?
I mean, you have to be honest. It's also about the organ program, because if you play a Riga, for example, or Liszt on a huge organ, you need more than one person, bumping the bellows there. So I'm going to play music by Joseph Haydn, the Flötenuhrstücke, for example, or music by Mozart, also my transcription once again, and some historical, historic music by Frescobaldi, probably some Spanish music. So more Baroque music or classical music than romantic music, because it's also closer to the organ, which is I mean, it's not an old organ though, but it's a smaller organ, which fits old music like Renaissance and Baroque music perfectly. Yeah. Cool. Well, the good thing is you don't even need electricity.
That's a really cool project.
So you're always climate neutral. Oh,
Yeah, well, depends. I'm looking across to my piano here in my flat, and since my neighbors are not the nicest, unfortunately, I have to practice with headphones. And for that, you actually need headphones. And you need headphones to practice with headphones, of course, that as but you need electricity for that. But yeah, sooner or later, hopefully, I will find another place to stay where I can finally have my
So
piano,
do you
my
want to
acoustic
tell your
piano,
neighbors something now
with
in
me.
public?
But yeah, in a concert, well, the words I would
Good.
love to use
So
for them are not
we're
appropriate
wishing
for
them a
this
wonderful
Instagram
evening.
live stream. No, it's yeah, for sure. No, it's kind of a struggle, unfortunately, but yeah, it was actually really sad because when I still was living with my parents, the whole neighborhood were so sad that I moved out. And so, like all the neighbors were coming to me and said, "Oh, we missed you so much. There's no nice music in the streets anymore." And that's so cute. And then I moved first to Munich, so it was another time that I moved here in this flat. But yeah, the first time I was practicing here was when we had like our first COVID lockdown. I bought this acoustic piano, semi-acoustic piano, so it has a grand piano mechanic in it, but it doesn't have strings. And the first time I was practicing here, immediately after 5 minutes, someone was bumping on the ceiling, and like a few minutes later, it was ringing on the door, and it was like, "Yeah, shut up! I don't care what you're doing." And I was like, "Yeah, sorry, mate, I'm in the home office, like just like you." It's like, I don't care, blah 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 blah. And
well, but the good thing
since then,
about our instruments
gladly
is, I mean, I have an electronic organ here in my flat as well, and I honestly have to say that I can concentrate much better with headphones than without. So even though I would not have to use headphones because my neighbors are really cool, I do like it because I think I can concentrate better or more on the music I'm playing. But nevertheless, can you imagine playing the drums, for example, or even, I don't know, accordion, for example? There is no electronic, at least not that I know of, no electronic version of it. So you can't really play it. Like you have to practice or I mean, in my former years as a student, I also played the saxophone, and it's not possible to play an electronic saxophone. So therefore, either you go to university and practice there, or
for sure,
I don't know what, but there's no other option. So therefore, I think we're kind of privileged there.
For sure. Yeah, but it's not for me. It's not the struggle with the headphones. It's like, I mean, this piano I have is really good for a electric piano because, as I said, it has a grand piano mechanics in it. But nevertheless, it's like the MIDI structure behind it. So you have 100. How many is it? 145-ish. Abstufungen. How do you say Abstufungen? Different ways how you can press the key. It's pretty much what I want to say. And for example, on a Steinway, you have like 1,000 whatever different ways to press the key, and so that's like not the same feeling. I don't care if I use the headphones or not.
Well, it's the same
that is
with
actually,
the
I really
yeah,
don't care.
that's true. It's the same with the
but it's
electronic
about
organ.
that it's
I
not
would say it's
100%.
more or less to just learn notes, and learn new music, but not really to interpret music or to get really into it. Therefore, I think you have to have a real instrument.
Yeah. You can get pretty close, actually. Because right now, currently, I'm not practicing in my university at all because we don't have practice rooms, unfortunately. So I'm only practicing at home right now. And for example, this recording I did with a radio broadcast station, besides playing 1 or 2 times on an acoustic Steinway, I was only practicing at home, and the recording for a week. It's really, really good. So you can actually get pretty close. But it's like just the feeling that you, how you play, is like just not the same feeling. And the result might be the same in the end, but the feeling while practicing is just like, how can you compare? For example, if you're sick and your ear is not hearing so much because it's like swollen-ish, but everything. And of course you hear everything, but you feel like you don't hear anything, everything. And that is how I would compare it probably. And of course, there's different levels on
and it
electronic pianos.
Always depends on the acoustics, for example, on the room. There are so many different kinds you have to think about. But therefore, I'm really glad to have this opportunity of having an electronic organ in my flat. It's just wonderful. But of course, it cannot replace a real instrument. So it's also important to play tracker organs like with a mechanic action as well, and not only digital actions. Yeah, I would really say that.
Yeah.
That's
the
true.
Good thing about it.
That's really true.
It's never
always have the perfect pitch.
That is the perfect thing about it. You will never have to tune it.
Well, and the
same
good thing
acoustic
with my organ is that you can even choose which acoustic you want to play in. Which is hyper realistic, of course.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, adding this reverb. No, but when I bought this piano here, I didn't want to have like too much of like playing around. I wanted a good keyboard, and I wanted a realistic sound. I didn't care about the rest. I mean, on so many electronic pianos, you can play a violin, you can have a choir singing your notes and stuff. I don't need that, honestly. So my piano can't do a lot of crazy stuff, but it's the closest, apparently, how you can get to the
that's good. And it's always good to have a possibility that you can practice literally everywhere and at any time during the day and also during night.
Of course.
That's a great privilege. Wonderful. Well, what do you say? I think we haven't received any questions so far. What shall we do?
Yeah. Well, you guys were not quick enough. I would just say, as soon as you're coming back from Ukraine, we definitely have to talk again. That you can tell us your experiences.
Exactly.
And,
let's do this again. I think it's just wonderful to talk to another musician, also another instrumentalist, which is always a good experience. And I really even though we don't, that's true. Even though we don't know each other in person, it feels like we're doing this since ever, in a positive way, of course. So let's do it soon again. And I think I hope at least that people will join us the next time as well. But I'm really optimistic. Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you. You too.
Perfect. Well then, enjoy your evening, and see you soon. And thank you so much for your support. And talk to you soon as well. To the Instagram audience.
Bye.